Hello, it's RV Vagabond Jerry again. And today I want to tell you about motorcycle carriers installed on the backs of RVs. And there are basically 4 different types of carriers. One is a trailer, and it doesn't have to be a big trailer. There are some motorcycle trailers, some trailers that are designed specifically for motorcycles and are really small trailers. Just about all of them will load the motorcycle to where it's the lengthways going into the rear of the motorhome, as opposed to sitting sideways. I've only been able to find one motorcycle trailer where it fits sideways on the back of the RV. And that one is built by a company in England. And I was considering getting one of those, talked to them, and they have no dealer anywhere in North America. I really liked it. It seems like it's the best design, but you have to ship it overseas for one thing. Although at this point I'm kind of thinking maybe that's the way I should have gone. And number 2 is to get a carrier that is actually a lift that uses an electric winch. And number 3 is to use a lift that uses a hydraulic lifting system. And number 4 is to get a carrier with a ramp that is attached to the trailer hitch of your RV, which is right here. An ordinary trailer hitch on the back of an RV or a motorhome, and that's the one that I decided to buy. The aluminum ramp you see here, or actually a rail, that's where the motorcycle sits on, and the front wheel goes into here and against this chock, and that thing moves forward, back and forward like that to lock the wheel into place. And then this black one along here, that one you just unscrew these twist nuts and move the ramp off to the end of it here. The thing fits into there to lock it in place, and then the ramp goes out there, and it's very low to the ground. It's actually higher than it looks like here, but it's low enough to the ground that one person can easily load a motorcycle onto it. The main restriction is that hitches like this on the back of RVs, they are rated at 500 pounds of vertical weight, which means that from that little trailer hitch, whatever you hitch to that is going to be resting its weight onto it, you can only use about 500 pounds of whatever. If you're pulling a trailer, that's a completely different thing. That's more like 5,000 pounds of pulling something. But they call it vertical weight. 500 pounds is what the trailer hitch is rated at. And the whole thing here weighs about 100 pounds. So that means you can only put a motorbike on it that weighs up to 400 pounds. And it kind of toggles a little bit left and right because it's only on that one little hitch there. So after I had it like that for a while, I decided I needed the thing to be a lot more sturdy because it was rocking a little bit from left to right. So I had a second hitch installed here, which made the thing completely sturdy. And I'm pretty sure by having 2 hitches, it actually gives me 1,000 pounds of vertical lift. Because I know for sure that when you have a triple hitch, which you do need for the electric or hydraulic lifts, then you can put a 1,500 pound motorcycle on it. I've seen people load those big Harley Davidsons onto those lifts, and those things weigh well over 1,000 pounds, I think. And when you do put one of those on, you actually have to remove the hitch that came with it and put on a special hitch that is a triple hitch. See, I've got 2 here. So that's a disadvantage of this unit. Is number 1 is limitation on how much weight you can put on it. And number 2, it does rest pretty low to the ground. The ones that are lifts, where the rail lowers completely onto the ground level and you just roll the motorcycle onto it, those, when you lift them up, they will lift it up to about this height, which is about let's say at least 2 feet higher than this one is. And the problem with it being low like this is that there will be times when what's behind you is the pavement actually makes contact with the bottom here. And I have had that happen a number of times where I'm pulling out of a parking lot and the ramp in the pavement that goes down from the parking lot to the street causes this to scrape on the bottom of the street. So that became a problem, and I kind of solved that by putting skid wheels on my motorhome, which I have another video. Look for another video about how to keep your RV from scraping the pavement. And another good thing about these is that the whole thing only cost about $300. And it came in various pieces, and I put the thing together myself. And let me tell you, I am not very mechanically inclined, but it was simple enough that this thing that came in about a dozen pieces, I put together myself. It really was not that difficult if you can follow instructions. So now I'm going to go inside to my computer, and I'm going to show you the website of the 2 companies that make motorcycle lifts. There are actually a few companies that make motorcycle lifts. There's only 2 that I'm really familiar with, and this one is called Cruiser Lift, CRUISERLIFT.com. You go to their website, and you can order it right off of their website. And Cruiser Lift is the one that is a total electric system. It has an electric winch that raises and lowers the rail that the motorcycle goes onto. And this picture right above here shows you what it looks like when you're driving down the road. So in addition to having the lift, your motorcycle riding like this, you can also tow a vehicle. Now on mine that I showed you, you can't use the motorcycle rack and also tow a vehicle. I can take it off and then tow a vehicle, but you can't do both. It's just simply not strong enough to do that. And to buy one of these costs about $3,000. Now, the other one I wanted to show you is called Hydra Lift. Their website is hydralift-usa.com. Hydralift-usa.com. And theirs looks the same. The only difference is it uses hydraulics rather than an electric winch to raise and lower the motorcycle. And these are various advantages of using hydraulics rather than an electric winch. And you go to Cruiser Lift's website and they list various advantages of the all-electric lift as opposed to a hydraulic lift. There's positives and negatives about both of them. Now the hydraulic lift cost, last time I checked, $4,500. So it's about 50% more than the electric lift. And if I was going to buy one, I would probably go with the all-electric lift. For one thing, the parts, if something breaks, a lot of the parts you can buy at a Home Depot store, but there's not many places around that you can quickly find to repair hydraulics, is what someone told me. And it didn't cost me anything to install the motorcycle rack that I have. I installed it myself. I did pay someone to weld on a second hitch, and that was a few $100s, but that's kind of an optional thing you don't have to do. I just really glad that I did that for the stability, but the manufacturer of the rack that I have really does not recommend that you do that second lift. They say it's not necessary, and maybe they're right. Maybe they're not necessary. I just kind of got nervous about that thing rocking a bit. So if you are considering carrying a motorcycle on the back of your RV or your motorhome, then you want to do a lot of research. And the other option of a trailer, here's another option, what they call the swivel wheel. This one that they call the swivel wheel is sort of like a trailer, but not really. It's like it's a motorcycle carrier. The main difference is it has a wheel here that takes all of the pressure off of the trailer hitch. Well, almost all of it. So that you don't have the restriction of the 500-pound weight on the trailer hitch. So you see here, they've got a big Harley-Davidson motorcycle on it. So with that wheel on the ground, you're really kind of unlimited. You can carry the heaviest motorcycle you can find. And with this being a much larger platform, you can also put other things like a golf cart or a large wheelchair and all sorts of things you can carry on there. And I think that's a good option too. In fact, I kind of wish I may have gotten one of these. A swivel wheel, it swivels around so that no matter how you're driving, it will function very well. So that's a good option as well. So if you're wanting to carry a motorcycle, a motor scooter, or a golf cart, or any kind of heavy pieces of equipment like that, check out thoroughly the 4 different options. With a trailer, a rack on the trailer hitch, a all-electric lift, or a hydraulic lift. Do total research on all of them so that you make a good decision as to which one works best for you. So good luck with that and good day.